Hey, welcome. You ever look at some companies and wonder how they just keep coming up with these brilliant ideas? Like it's nothing. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on that. We're going to take innovation from this kind of mysterious, magical thing and turn it into a process you can actually follow. All right, let's get right into it.
So let's start with the big one. Where do great ideas really come from? We all know the story, right? The lone genius in a lab, a sudden flash of lightning, and boom, a world-changing idea. But is that really how it happens?
The truth is that whole eureka moment it's just so incredibly rare. If your strategy is to just wait for that to happen, well, you might as well plan a road trip by hoping to catch a ride on a shooting star. It's a nice idea, but it's not a plan.
And that, right there, is the secret. The most innovative companies, the ones that do it over and over again, they don't wait for ideas. Nope, they build a machine, a system that's designed to hunt for them, develop them, and bring them to life. It's a system, not a single spark of magic.
So that's what we're going to break down in this explainer. We're going to look at a practical playbook that takes the total chaos of creativity and turns it into a reliable, repeatable process that actually creates value.
First things first, before you can even think about brainstorming or building prototypes, you have to lay a solid foundation. I mean, you can't build a skyscraper on quicksand, right? And you definitely can't build a game-changing innovation without the right support structure already in place.
And the basic building block of this whole system is something we call an innovation initiative. Just think of it like a project, a dedicated project. It's not some endless, vague journey into the unknown. No, it's a focused effort. It's got a clear mission, a start date, and an end date.
And for an initiative to even have a fighting chance, it needs these pillars. I mean, these are the non-negotiables. Things like protected resources, and that just means dedicated money and people whose job this actually is, and clear leadership are absolutely crucial. Without this stuff, even the best idea in the world is just going to wither on the vine.
And look, these initiatives aren't one size fits all. Not at all. As you can see here, it could be a small team working inside the company, or maybe a partnership with another organization. Heck, it could even be acquiring a startup that's already figured out a piece of the puzzle for you. The point is, the structure has to fit the goal.
Okay, so once you've got that foundation set, the real work begins to flow through this 5-stage process. We call it the innovation pipeline. And it's a really logical journey that takes you all the way from a kind of fuzzy opportunity to a real solution out there in the world.
Let's start with stage 1, which is all about hunting for opportunities. And listen, this might be the most critical stage of them all. Because it's not about finding solutions yet. It's about finding the right questions to ask, the right problems to solve in the first place. So, where do you even look for these problems? Well, everywhere. An opportunity might be hiding in something your customers need but can't even articulate. Or maybe it's a new technology that just became possible. You might even find it by looking at what your competitors are doing or not doing. You just have to be curious about everything.
And here's the big takeaway for this stage. When you're done, you don't walk away with a solution. No. You walk away with a crystal clear, well-defined problem statement. A problem that is actually worth solving, both for your customers and for your business.
Okay, so you've got a great problem. Now we get to move into the really creative heart of the pipeline, coming up with ideas and then, trying to break them. This is where we go from that defined problem to a potential solution. So stage 2 is all about creating concepts. This is the fun part, right? The brainstorming sessions, the whiteboards full of sketches. The goal here is just to generate a ton of potential solutions for that problem you found back in stage 1. You want to go wide, get creative, no bad ideas yet. And then comes stage 3, validation. And man, this slide just nails the huge mental shift you have to make. You have to stop saying, we believe this is true, and start saying, we have learned this is true. You're literally taking your biggest guesses and testing them with real people to turn those assumptions into hard facts.
What's the whole point of this? It's about killing uncertainty. That's it. As you can see, a brand new idea is just packed with risk and unknowns. The validation process is how you systematically chip away at that risk, turning those big question marks into knowledge long before you spend a ton of money actually building the thing.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? You don't have to test every little detail. Instead, you figure out your biggest, scariest assumptions. You know the things that, if they're wrong, the whole idea completely falls apart? And you test those first.
So now you have a concept that's been through the ringer. It's de-risked, it's validated. Now it's time to build. Let's head into the final stages of the pipeline and see how we bring this thing to life.
Stage 4 is development.
This is where the rubber meets the road. The engineers are coding, the designers are finalizing, the marketers are building the launch plan. It's all about actually building the solution and getting all your ducks in a row for a successful rollout.
And that brings us to stage 5, deployment. This is it. This is launch day. It's the moment of truth where your solution finally goes live and gets out into the world, into the hands of real customers.
But wait, it's not over, not by a long shot. Honestly, some of the most important work starts now. You have to watch how people are actually using it, you need to gather their feedback, and you have to measure if it's really delivering the value you thought it would.
And all that learning you do after the launch, well, that brings us to the most powerful idea in this whole playbook. This entire pipeline isn't just a straight line that you run through once and then you're done. No, it's a cycle.
And this right here is the most important part of the whole thing. The feedback, the data, everything you learned from the solution you just launched. That becomes the raw material for stage 1 all over again. The lessons from today's product launch, they fuel the hunt for tomorrow's opportunity. It creates this powerful, self-reinforcing flywheel that just keeps getting smarter and faster.
So there you have it. Innovation isn't magic. It's a system. It's a pipeline that's designed to turn uncertainty into knowledge and problems into solutions. And once you get that system up and running, there's really only one question left to ask. What problem are you going to solve first?